Hello, this is Miss Mary with another edition of What Caught My Eye in New Books. All right, so we're going to do mainly picture books today in alphabetical order, and then we're going to wrap up with Kevin Henkes, Wisconsin's very own Kevin Henkes, and his chapter books. So thank you for joining me, and then below the video I will have all the books listed on YouTube. Okay, so our first one is Secret Agent Guy. And what a fun story. Let's see, who's it by? Kira Bigwood, and it's illustrated by Celia Crampion. And the illustrations are great. I just love them. They had a lot of Easter eggs. This could be used as a bedtime story. Also to let you know, the text is set to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, so it's very fun to read aloud. So it'd be great for a family read aloud, or for a younger elementary crowd read aloud too. And as you read, you can see all the things that the illustrator added, like there's magnifying glasses on his pajama pants and a lot of other fun read aloud. So this is just kind of an idea. Ooh, will he complete his mission? Ooh, who are these evil people right there? Okay, so that one I recommend it highly. The next one I have is, What the Kite Saw. This is a very beautiful, powerful, moving picture book. It's about children living in a military occupation zone. It's not a particular zone. It can be a universal, unfortunately. It can be applied universally. And a young boy's father and brother are taken away by the soldiers, and his mother and sister carry on, and one of the ways the brother carries on is telling stories to his sister, because he is not without hope. This is powerful, moving book. I would not use this for a bedtime story because it's something you probably have to discuss afterwards, but I still recommend it highly in a classroom or family read aloud situation that's not a bedtime story. Okay, here we go. I love Michael Hall. This is House Mouse. I love everything about Michael Hall. And the way he illustrates, I don't know if you noticed this, but he uses a lot of shapes in his illustrations, basic shapes. So that's a very fun way to learn your shapes. And it's a beautiful story about this mouse that slowly builds a house and welcomes other mice. And it's great for a classroom read aloud about welcoming people, for building, engineering, welcoming strangers, and it's also a great family read aloud and a great bedtime story, because who doesn't love that cute little mouse? All right, our next one up is More Than Sunny. This is such a sweet book. It's by Shelley, Johannes, and she also does the illustrations. I love sibling stories. I love the way the dog is drawn, and the text is playful, a lot of rhymes, and it's a fun take on the changing of the seasons. It also could work as writing prompts because it's a lot of fun words that rhyme. I love the apple cheeks. I love the freckles. It's such a positive outlook on families and life. And look at, and they have a good relationship, a good sibling relationship. And look at our bows. It's just the dog. I just love all the illustrations in this. All right, More Than Sunny. And my next one, is Hudson and Tallulah Take Sides. And Hudson and Tallulah are neighbors. They live right next door to each other. And one day, and it's written by Kang, and it's illustrated by Christopher Wyant. And apparently these are a dynamic married duo. I love the fun, expressive characters. I love the eyes in the illustrations. These two characters have distinct likes and dislikes, and they do not agree on many things. But of course, they can come together over a few certain things. And this would be a fun read aloud for a classroom and for a bedtime story and a story. But look at, here is Tallulah's favorite person, her favorite people. There's Dave. But who is Dave is the enemy. Oh my goodness. And look at him. Bark, 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 bark. And this is also how they decide they like some of the same things, because who doesn't love to run in puddles with a bunch of birds? All right, so that's a very fun one. I really enjoyed that picture book. Okay, so the other one we have, oh, excuse me. Oh, bing, bang, boom. Okay, Sunday Funday in Koreatown by Aram Kim. I love everything by this illustrator and author. She always has animals. She's Korean American, or I believe she is Korean American because she writes about that a lot. And in this one, the main character, Yumi's Sunday, is supposed to be the funnest day of the week, and things are just kind of going a little bit off the rails. So a bunch of small mishaps, but you know, things work out. But like, for example, oh, look at what happened to her shirt. So she didn't get to wear her favorite shirt that day. It's just a bunch of little mishaps going on in the story. But who can, of course, make Sunday always better is, of course, Grandma. So this is a great grandma and grandpa story. This would be a great story about if you want to do Koreatown. And then, she has an end note about Koreatowns and what that actually is. And then she also has this great recipe for kimbap. And kimbap, it starts out they didn't have the ingredients for kimbap, so she couldn't have her favorite breakfast. So, things just went off the rails, but of course, Grandma makes it all better. Okay. The next one is 3. Oh, I just really enjoyed this one too, by Stephen Michael King. I love the illustrations. Look at this sweet dog in the background. And 3, 1, 2, 3, is a very positive dog. He has a wonderful outlook in life, very much a half glass full person. He also always notices how many legs creatures have around him. So he's looking at the 6-legged creatures, which are the ants, the 8-legged creatures, which are the spiders. And of course, he wanders out into the country and meets Fern. So of course, we have a happy ending. But I just adore the use of white space, and I love the expressions on these guys. So of course, 3 gets his happy ending. So this would be a great family read aloud, a great read aloud for lower elementary classrooms. Just a beautiful, beautiful book. Okay, and our next one was On the Trapline. This is a really great story too. I love stories of grandfathers and grandsons or families. And so On the Trapline is by David A. Robinson, and it's illustrated by Julie Fleet. And the simple spare illustrations are just gorgeous, and there's a lot of white text, white space, really wonderful use of that. And the story is very spare and simple, that matches the illustrations, and it's a great read aloud for families. And if you wanted to do an Indigenous peoples unit in your classroom, it'd be great for that. And this is the Swamp Cree grandfather and his grandson, and a trapline is where you go and you hunt and fish and you live off the land. And the grandpa hasn't been back to his trap line since he was his grandson's age. So it's very sweet. It has a lot of different words in it, and they have a pronunciation in the book, in the back of the book. But I want to show you. Look at this. And when you're on the trap line, you sleep in a tent with your whole family. How beautiful is that, huh? All right, and then of course in the back, there's a pronunciation guide for all the words. So in Swampy Cree. So there we go. Oops, I'm gonna hold this one because it's not gonna fit on there. Our next one is I just love this one too. 100 Things I Know How to Do. and it's by Amy Schwartz, and I just love her illustrations. It's a diverse cast, so the I is not referring to a specific individual, but you know, children of a very young age. This would be a wonderful read aloud stories. The experiences are small, but there's a lot on each page, and each page has its own rhythm and rhyme going. So it's a very smart book. It's very sweet, and I just really enjoyed it. And let's look at this page. So that you can close drawers, you can open doors, you can put on plays, you can look both ways, you can wear boots, and you can peel fruit. Look at all the things you can do. I just love that. Okay, so that's it for picture books. And I also read Billy Miller Makes a Wish by our very own Wisconsin Kevin Henkes, who has won major awards, Caldecott illustrator. But this one is not an illustrated book. It's a standalone sequel to Billy Miller Makes a Wish. Or Billy Miller Makes a Wish, and then it's a sequel to A Year of Billy Miller. But you don't need to read the first book to read this one. And Billy's family is very close. He takes very good care of his sister, her little sister, who is a pistol, and he's a very good big brother. So of course I love that. And this week, it's his birthday, and he makes a wish. And then his father is gone for the week because he's an artist and he's going to an art camp. And so Billy Miller is home with his mother and his sister. It's a super exciting week for an 8-year-old. So there's not a big dramatic thing going on, but it is dramatic for an 8-year-old. I just recommend this so much. If for a classroom read aloud, it would go pretty quick. There's not a lot of text on each page. I was thinking I put this in the 4th grade and up section, but it could be later 3rd grade reading too. And if you love Ramona and her family, I think you would also really love this book. All right. So thank you for joining me for what caught my eye in new books. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great week next week, and I hope to see you soon at the library. Bye for now.